Hey guys, it's Greg from East Coast Dives, back with another episode of Theory Thursday. This week we'll be talking about whether you should switch to the new NCAA rules before you have to or not. Alright guys, for those of you who don't know, in the NCAA there were some rule changes last year concerning stringing, and then rule changes a couple years ago concerning head shape. So first, the rules for head shape are there's 3 different specs of head. There's NHFS, there's X, and X6. NHFS is legal only for high school and youth play, not for NCAA. X-spec is legal for all levels of play, and X6 spec is legal for only NCAA play. So the X-spec is 3 inches down to the throat and 6.5 at the scoop. So this is the widest head, legal for all levels of play, and what you see most players in college using. Not a ton that use the X6. So all of the NCAA Division I, Division II, and Division III, as well as the MCLA, all have to follow this rule. You must use a college legal head with a college legal pocket. There are many high schools that also have adopted NCAA rules, as well as many youth programs. This goes state by state. You have to check with your specific high school, specific club program, and specific youth program to see what set of rules they follow. The other change from last year is now for NCAA, your shooting strings cannot fall below 4 inches from the top of the scoop. So generally, when you string a pocket, this is the third 10-diamond row. So you really have room to get 3 10-diamond row straights in. So those are the essential 10-diamond or NCAA rules for heads and stringing. So you'll see most NCAA players with an X-spec head. This is the Revo 3X with an NCAA legal shooter setup, 3 straights. The lowest being on the 10-diamond row. So the question I want to address today is whether, if you don't have to follow these rules, if you should anyway, just to prepare yourself. So I get this question all the time in emails. I'm in high school, I play youth ball, but I plan on playing in college someday. I don't have to use the X-spec heads yet, but should I get one now so that I'm used to it? And my stance on this is you absolutely should. In my opinion, all levels of play should follow the same rules, and in that case, everyone would have to use all the X-spec heads. I think it doesn't make any sense to go from high school where you use a very pinch head and switch up to college and go to a wide head, and then if you move on to the MLL, you go back to a pinched head. It would make much more sense for all the levels to have consistent rules all the way through. So in my opinion, if you do not have to play with NCAA legal heads yet, you absolutely should. It's good to get used to it. It's going to improve your stick work. It's going to improve your catching. You're going to have to focus more on skills rather than relying on the pocket or the head. It's going to get you used to playing at a higher level and prepare you to play at the next level. So we even see some guys in the MLL don't use low shooters. They use these shooters because it's what they got used to, and they really don't need those low Vs because they're so talented. So I would highly recommend that you at least get one X-spec head with, and maybe you don't play in games with it, but maybe you practice sometimes with it. Maybe you shoot around in the yard with it, attend some practices, do some clinics with it. Just use it just to get used to it so it's not a complete shock when you have to switch up to the X-spec level. I remember for my first 2 years of college, we could use NHFS, very, very narrow heads, and for my junior and senior year, that's when they made the rule change. We had to switch to the X, and it was a big change for me, and I had a really hard time adjusting. It took me a long time to find a head that I liked a lot and a stringing for that head that I liked a lot, even though you could still use U's. So you don't want to reach that shock and that change when it's time to play NCAA ball and you're on the big field, and you really can't afford to get used to it then and make the change a little late. So if you're younger, in high school, and you plan on playing college lacrosse, I highly suggest you pick up an X-spec head and maybe even string it with the NCAA shooting strings, but definitely do one of the two. Either use it for a backup stick, a practice stick, your primary stick, and just get some reps with it so you can get used to it now and you're ready to play when it's time. So thanks for watching, guys. Make sure to subscribe. Stay tuned for the next episode. Leave your suggestions for more Theory Thursdays down in the comments, and have a great day.